Hello, I'm JustHitSquare, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Today we're going to be talking about the strikes in the game. As you did see, it just showed off the strike, the symbols. I'm going around the planets now and showing you. The reason why I'm going around the planets and the moons is because this is not Destiny 1. You can no longer go to a specific strike. You have to do strike playlist. And there's not a heroic strike playlist or nothing. As you did see in the beginning, there's just strike playlist and then there's nightfall. So let's start in on this, and this is going to be my review for the strikes in the game and what I feel like they should make better, what they should just forget about, and so on and so forth. Now, first and foremost, we're going to talk about how the strikes different themselves, meaning how they differ from one another, how unique they are and stuff like that. Now, there are 5 strikes in the game. That is for the base player, like the Xbox PC. Now, for the PlayStation, I believe there's a 6th one, and Lake of Shadows or something. Now, you can see that I've got a review up, not a review, but a like a guide through all of the strikes. You can go through my playlist of the Destiny 2, and you can actually see all of the playthrough of those, your walkthroughs and stuff like that, including the PlayStation exclusive, because my preferred choice is the PS4. But other than that, guys, let's get into this. Now, I believe there's 2 strikes that's specifically on Nessus, and we are currently, I believe, playing the Exodus Crash, the worst strike in the game, in my opinion. But before we get started, this is solely my opinion, and sorry if I step on anybody's toes. It may seem like I got a lot of criticism for Destiny 2, but I had a lot of hopes for it as well. So I spent my hard-earned money just like everyone else did. I kind of feel like I should have my opinion as well. Now, there are going to be several different review videos. You're going to see one, I believe, tomorrow. It's Lost Sectors or something like that. There are just going to be several different review videos across the Destiny that I do go across, because I didn't want to make just one specific one. But anyways, how does the strikes different themselves? Well, one, they have different enemies, but it's the same old, same old. Now, a strike is a 3-player cooperative mission. It's got raid-like mechanics in it, but it's not as tough as a raid as far as figuring things out. It's pretty much you go through the whole strike, and then you go to the end and there's a boss, and then boom, there you go. Now, some of these strikes will mislead you by the name. You're kind of thinking, well, I'm going after this one or I'm going after that one. No, it's not the case. But most of all, if not all of these, happen the same way. You get to the end, and you have to fight a boss that has similar tactics. And every boss in the strikes, every one of them, all 6 of them, has a similar tactic. Do enough damage, they disappear. Now, the thing about it is the Lake of Shadows. I believe that is the one that's specific to, or it's exclusive to the PlayStation for a year. I don't think that guy disappears in it, but maybe I'm wrong. It's been so long since I've played it, because to be honest, there's really no point of playing strikes unless it's nightfall. Now, the thing about it is that they don't defer themselves too much, other than the enemies, a few little mechanics and stuff like that, and that's about it. Now, what's the point of them? Okay, the point of them is to pretty much, I guess, have fun. I mean, good old Deej said the end game is about having fun with your friends and all them things, so I guess it's more of a friend game now. But really, when you're past 20, or once you get to lot level around 260, 280-ish, I kind of feel like they're useless. I kind of feel like they're useless at 140 or 160. But you always got a chance of getting exotics from the bosses that drops the loot, and you can go through them and get quite a bit of XP, quite a bit of or loot here and there. Sometimes you can you get glimmer, but to be honest, it's more if I would have to say the best thing about strikes is learning people to work together very well in order to be able to dominate and work efficient and go through cooperative things. Now, is there really any point for me to play strikes, or most people that's in my vocabulary or where I'm at? I'm like 305 across the map pretty much on every character. Is there really an incentive of doing it? No, there really isn't, because to be honest with you, I could go out and do public heroic strikes, or not strikes, public heroic events, and I could get better loot. I could get more glimmer and everything quicker than I could by going through the strikes. Now, what's missing from the strikes, you might want to say, is the strike specific loot that made the strikes in Destiny 1 worth going through. Now, I have went on a little rant before, but I do believe that Bungie really dropped the ball when they did bring in certain things in the game. They took more away from the Destiny universe than they have added in the Destiny universe. But you know, I'm not sitting here talking about all the things that they did and that they didn't. This is specifically pretty much about strikes. But if you want to make the strikes better, then they need to bring back strike specific loot. They need to bring our loot. They need to be bringing back heroic playlist and make it incentive of us playing it that have reached the power level. And that's stupid. It should be light level, not power level. But anyways, just another word. But anyways, I think that they need to do that. That way it would make the average player or the hardcore player go back through it. That way they could get all the gear. My suggestion would be is to make the loot specific to the strike that you're playing and be a full set and maybe one gun. And it would be like a 50% chance that you could get a piece of gear out of the strikes. That would be for the strike specific gear set, and the gun would be more of a 5 or 10% chance that you could get out of it. So that means you would have to continuously go back and forth to do it. And they also need to make it to where you can pick your strikes instead of just having to go through them over and over and over. You know, like with a playlist, it's kind of retarded. Now, was 5 strikes enough? Well, I guess if you're bringing out a new or just the same damn game, then or something, then yeah, I guess it would be. But this isn't the same damn game. This is totally different game. It's got a lot of the same mechanics, but I feel like it's, you know, it's pretty much the same game, you know, with a bunch of stuff ripped from it. It's kind of like a bare bones Destiny 1. And was 5 strikes enough? No, it wasn't. It really was not enough. I mean, they should have been at least 3 on each planet or, you know, moon, whatever. That way we could add at least 12. Or, you know, more. I mean, 10, whatever. I mean, this more. 5 is not the best. That's just not, no way in world. That is just way they should have done. And the bosses, like I said before, they do have a lot of similar tactics. You put enough damage on them, they'll disappear. And this guy right here in this strike is really bad because he disappears about every 5 or 10% damage you put on him somewhere in that vicinity, and he'll disappear, and then you can't kill him. You gotta kill ads. Blah blah, rotation, same thing over and over again. I made a different strike. Oh, it's got a different enemy, but it's still the same thing. Oh, I'm gonna hide one of the strikes. I'm gonna hide behind a shield. I can shoot you, but you can't shoot me. So, excuse me. Now we're gonna try to finish up. What could they have done to make them better? And what is good out of them? Okay, as I've said in previous videos and as I'll say in other videos, the thing about them is the best thing about a strike is to be able to learn how to play with the people that you run with, learn how to be cooperative, get ready for the raid, nightfalls, be cooperative, and be able to run through it together and learn each other's playstyle. I don't really feel that going through these are really good for anything other than that. But if you would try to do stuff out of here, then you need to have 3 people with 3 fire team medallions. That way you could get 3 times the loot, 3 times the excuse me, 3 times the glimmer, and so on and so forth. Can you get exotics? Yes, you can. But there's really no point. You can go to a heroic public event and get twice or 3 times the amount and the time that it would take you to go through one strike. Strikes usually last 10 to 20 minutes depending on how good your team is. So And a lot of places you can just run by. There's no barriers in these. But they should have done better with the bosses. They should make it to where, you know, hey, I cannot even kill this guy without him disappearing. They need to make bosses that you can straight up kill. But if you was going to be doing that, if they was going to be making them where you can straight up kill them, then they need to make them where they're a lot tougher. You know, that way they last a lot longer. Now, granted that, you know, they have different tactics. If you get them down to a certain percentage, they start acting a little bit different. And that's pretty cool. But, you know, I kind of feel like they needed to make them a little bit different, like a little bit longer, a little bit more, you know, lore in them and stuff like that. You know, it's kind of like these strikes holds like generals, kind of like generals and big dogs of the enemies. You know, you got captains and you got the big dogs, like big names that, you know, you normally wouldn't see in the world. And, you know, they're supposed to mean more than what they are meaning. And but yeah, I mean, I don't feel like it's really worth it. But I've just told you, you know, what I feel like you could benefit from doing them. Now, I do have friends that do play them still. I kind of feel like they're not even worth playing. They just ain't worth the crud. But, you know, hey, that's just my opinion. Now, the way to make them better is to put strike-specific loot in them. And I would say put a full gear set for each strike and make that gear set benefit you from fighting that kind of enemy, you know, and any kind of strikes that enemy's in. It doesn't have to be in the real world or open world or anything like that. And then, you know, one gun per strike specifically. And that would give us, what, 5 or 6 different pieces, or, you know, to actually grind for it, and, you know, make it last a little while, make it harder for us to be able to do it. But other than that, guys, hopefully you did enjoy the video. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. Put in the comments what you think that would make the strikes better. And yes, they've already said that they are going to be making it where strikes are going to be worth playing. In other words, they're going to give you a reason to play them. Hopefully they bring in the strike specific loot and gear, and hopefully they make it to where, you know, you can get a little bit more out of them, have a little bit more fun, make a heroic playlist, and be able to pick which one you want to do. That would really, really cut down the time of the frustration that happens. But other than that, guys, hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you do, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, click on that little bell over there and click on notifications so you never miss another one of my videos. Other than that, guys, this has been JustHitSquare. Hopefully you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Until next time, see you later.